Welcome back. You're watching Friday Briefing here on KTN News. Let's now remind you of our Twitter poll question once again, where we're asking, do you support Peter Kenneth's re-entry into the Nairobi governor's race? Do let us know what you think. You can use the hashtag Friday Briefing or the SMS number 22155. And we'd like to hear from you and go through some of your views. Now let's take a look at other stories making headlines. And, we'll now cross over to another story where President Uhuru Kenyatta is warning the opposition against intimidating Kenyans and independent state organs. Kenyatta's comments follow continued threats by the opposition to boycott the elections if the appeals court reverses a lower court's ruling that the presidential results should be announced at the polling stations and not at the national level. And he was speaking in the Democratic Party's National Delegates Conference here in Nairobi, where the party officially endorsed him for re-election.
The Democratic Party is the sixth party and the latest to endorse President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election in the coming general election. The endorsement comes barely 2 weeks after he was endorsed by the Kenya African National Union Party, Maendeleo Chap-Chap, NAK Kenya, Economic Freedom Party, and the Frontier Alliance Party.
Tutafanya kazi pamoja, tutakampeni pamoja. Yangu ni kuwauliza, tafadhali tufanye siasa zetu kwa njia ya amani.
During his address in the Democratic Party's Delegates Conference, Kenyatta brushed off threats by the opposition to boycott the elections if certain demands are not met.
IBC ipewe heshima kwa sababu hii mambo it is in the constitution. It is in the constitution. Hata hivyo, we have 18 presidential candidates. Moja akitoka siku 17 wote.
Tukiwa na vyama vyote ambavyo tuko navyo, iwe kuna chama moja ambayo itasema kama mambo haitafanyika kulingana na matakwa yangu, hakuna kitu itaendelea. Hiyo ni demokrasia kweli? Hiyo ni demokrasia? Hiyo sio demokrasia. Haistahili wewe utishe wenzako ati kama mambo haitaenda vile mimi nataka, hakuna lolote litafanyika.
In an appeals court, IEBC seeks to have the chairman declare the final results, as the constitution allows it to declare all winners during elections, but the opposition is opposed to this. Earlier, the High Court had ruled in favor of the opposition to have the results announced at the constituency level declared final. The opposition has made it clear that all will not be rosy if the appeals court overturns the High Court ruling, but the president terms it as a show of cowardice.
Isiwe wewe unaenda kutisha koti, kesho yake unaenda kusema kama haitakuwa hivi kutakuwa shida. Kwani shida ni kwa nini? Shida iko wapi? Wananchi wawachiliwe, waamue vile wanataka kuamua na uheshimu huo uamuzi.
The Democratic Party now says that it chose to endorse the president based on his track record.
That presidential position is reserved for none other than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Tuwataka Wakenya waamue. Na sisi kama viongozi tuheshimu uamuzi wa Wakenya. Kwa heri ya kuonana.
With the campaigns set to begin officially on the 28th of this month, Uhuru Kenyatta has promised that he will be campaigning for the candidates across the board that have endorsed him. Nicholas Omboa, KTN News, Nairobi.
And that story for Nicholas brings into mind so many questions. But as we head to the August 8 polls, there are quite a number of people or quite a number of aspirants vying for different positions, with a list released by the IEBC putting the number of those who have been cleared to vie for either the Member of Parliament or a Member of County Assembly position constituencies are standing out. And this is because of the high number of people who have expressed interest in this position. So we'd now like to take a look at some of these constituencies and some of these positions. Bobasi, we are looking at the number of candidates who are actually aspiring to become leaders there, being at about 123. And this is one of the highest numbers we have had in any election in the history of Kenya. When we go to Nyaribari Masaba, we are looking at 98. So imagine what the ballot paper is going to look like in these specific areas. Let's move on now and take a look at other numbers and constituencies. If you look at North Mugirango, we're looking at 98 candidates. If we're looking at South Mugirango, we're looking at 91. West Mugirango, we're looking at 89 candidates who are aspiring to be members of parliament there. Now, when you come to Lamu West, we have 89 candidates. We go to Nyaribari Chache, where we're seeing 88. And if we go to Kilifi North, we're also seeing 84. So you can almost pity the IEBC and hoping that the names will not be mixed up at all. If you go to Kitutu Masaba, there are 83 candidates, and Machakos Town, we're having 75 candidates who are vying in those specific constituencies. If we move on now and take a look, well, I think that was the last one, but you can almost get the feeling of what our ballot papers are going to look like come August 8. And so, you know, we're all looking forward to making sure, or at least hoping, that the IEBC can actually do their job and do it really excellently. You're watching Friday Briefing, and we'll now take a short break. But remember, Nick Odhiambo will be coming up, who is our guest anchor tonight. We're going to get a little bit more into who he is, what he does, and why he is here altogether. So do stay tuned.